In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to pause or stop a scenario in Make, so you stay in full control of your automations without losing a single setting or schedule configuration. Make, formerly known as Integromat, is one of the most capable no-code automation platforms available right now. And knowing how to properly deactivate a scenario is one of those foundational skills that saves you from a lot of headaches further down the line. If you find this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a new tutorial. And let's get started. Before we dive into the steps, it's worth taking a moment to understand why you might need to stop a scenario in the first place. Maybe you're testing a new workflow and you don't want live data processing in the background while you're still making changes. Maybe you're handing a project off to a client and you need to put things on pause while they review everything. Or perhaps you're running a time-sensitive campaign and you want the automation to stop automatically once a deadline passes. Make gives you two clean ways to handle this, and I'll walk you through both right now. The first option is the quickest and most commonly used method, simply turning the scenario off using the toggle switch. Start by heading to your Make dashboard. If you've just opened the app for the first time, this is the main screen you land on, showing all your scenarios listed out in one place. Find the scenario you want to deactivate and click on it to open it in the scenario editor. The editor is where all the modules and connections live, and it's where you'll do the vast majority of your work inside Make. Once you're inside the editor, look down at the bottom toolbar running along the very base of the screen. You'll see a row of icons there. Right next to the save icon and the schedule clock icon, you'll find a toggle switch, and this is the main on/off control for your entire scenario. By default, when a scenario is active and running on a schedule, that toggle is switched to the ON position. All you need to do is click it once to flip it to off. Here's something important to keep in mind. Turning the scenario off does not erase your schedule settings or any part of your configuration. Everything stays exactly as you left it. Your trigger is still connected, your modules are still wired up, and your schedule is still saved quietly in the background. The scenario simply won't execute on its next scheduled interval. This is a completely non-destructive action, which means you can flip it back on at any point and your automation picks right back up where it left off. You can also still trigger the scenario manually at any time by clicking the Run Once button. Genuinely useful when you're testing changes without wanting the automated schedule firing in the background. One common mistake beginners make is assuming that closing the editor tab or navigating away from the scenario is enough to stop it from running. It isn't. Make runs your scenario's server side, so the only way to prevent a scheduled scenario from executing is to actively toggle it off. Don't skip that step. Now let's look at the second option, which is a slightly more advanced technique. Setting an end date so the scenario stops automatically on a specific day without any manual intervention. This is particularly valuable when you're running campaigns, event-based workflows, or anything tied to a hard deadline. Instead of relying on yourself to remember to come back and switch things off, you let Make handle it for you. To set an end date, open your scenario in the editor just as before. This time, look for the clock icon in the bottom toolbar. That's the scheduling icon, sitting right next to the toggle switch you already know. Click it to open the scheduling panel. Inside, you'll see all the options that govern when and how often your scenario runs, the interval type, the specific days of the week, the time of day, and so on. To reveal the end date setting, you need to check the box labeled Show Advanced Settings. Once you tick that, a few extra fields appear beneath the standard options, and one of them is the end date field. Click into it, pick the specific date on which you want the scenario to stop running, and save your changes. After that date passes, Make will automatically deactivate the scenario. No reminder needed, no manual return trip required. This is a professional-grade habit worth building early in your Make journey. If you're managing automations for clients or juggling multiple active workflows, setting end dates keeps everything tidy and prevents old scenarios from continuing to run in the background indefinitely, consuming operations and potentially writing data to systems that are no longer meant to be touched. So to recap, you now have two reliable ways to stop a scenario in Make. The first is the immediate toggle switch in the editor's bottom toolbar, which deactivates the scenario instantly while preserving every one of your settings. The second is the advanced scheduling option, where you set an end date and let Make switch things off automatically. Perfect for time-limited campaigns or any workflow with a fixed endpoint. Both methods are simple, safe, and fully reversible. Knowing when to use each one puts you solidly in control of your automation stack. As a natural next step, spend a few minutes exploring the other options in that same scheduling panel. You can restrict a scenario to specific days of the week, set precise start times, and fine-tune a great deal more. Save this video so you can come back to these steps whenever you need a refresher, and I'll see you in the next one.